up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk the tavern.
Okay, that was a short intro. So, let me introduce myself. Welcome to the Tavern. I am Travis Sivart. Go check out all my incredible fantasy and sci-fi books on Amazon and other fine literary retailers. My vices tonight is I have turned to the bourbon because of the topics. And I've got a blue pipe full of vanilla Cavendish. Cornell and Deal. What about you, Ed?
Hey people, I'm Ed. My vice tonight is it's a Pinot Noir. I don't remember which kind. Water and of course cheese. I always have my cheese. And go check out all Travis's shit that he was talking. How about you, Andrea?
Well, I have my knitting, of course, and tonight it's coffee because I'm tired.
Oh.
And like Ed said, go check out Travis's shit.
Wow, I'm not going to need a colonoscopy if all these people are checking out my shit. Okay, so let's get our topic and our toast. And we've got a really
Hot topics.
weighty topic tonight. So, if a woman is pregnant, does the fetus count as a passenger if you're in the HOV lane? We'll discuss that. But first, let's do a toast. Here's to bringing a new life in the world. Better that happens to you than me.
Here. Me too.
Okay. So there was a couple articles recently. One a few months ago, I guess just a month ago, there was a pregnant woman in the HOV lane in Texas who got pulled over and went, no. Roe versus Wade was overturned. My unborn baby now counts as a passenger in my vehicle because it's a person. And then also, just a week ago or so, Georgia made a law where unborn children can now be claimed on your taxes. So, what do you guys think about all this?
How does that work? How does that work for the taxes? Because I know when I claimed my kid on taxes, he had to have a social security number, and they don't give you that until you're
State taxes, maybe.
way.
Maybe, yeah, because it was by Georgia, so maybe Georgia doesn't require social for a kid.
Yeah. State taxes.
Could be.
Yeah.
Anybody
Probably.
here in our chat from
That's-
Georgia?
That's probably the workaround. Yeah. Every law has a workaround. So
Can I get a guide to these workarounds? Because, man, I'm not doing good
hey,
when it comes to taxes and laws and stuff like that.
you might be onto something. Do a little research and a book.
So
Workaround.
here's my thought.
Hmm.
Do you have to prove that you're pregnant?
Well, I mean,
How does that work?
Good point.
Because I'm just waiting for it to come down to anybody that's still menstruating because they still have the capability to have children be like, children, taxes, and guys, well, y'all got millions of children at any given time. Can you claim them on your taxes?
so you're talking about sperm count, right?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if this keeps on going in this direction, are you suggesting we return back to biblical times where, with Onan, where you can't spill your seed because they're lives?
And actually, that wasn't the Onan sin, but that's what they preach. But that wasn't the Onan sin.
What was the Onan sin?
The Onan sin was the fact that he was ordered to impregnate his brother's wife.
Ordered by who?
But God.
I love
ordered
how you
him to
did air
impregnate.
quotes before saying God.
Was that in writing? I think we need a legal form for
I don't know
that.
if there was a contract or not, but according to the Bible, he was ordered by God to impregnate his brother's wife so that his brother would have an heir. Instead of impregnating his brother's wife, he spilled his seed upon the ground. Then the church took that and ran with it, saying, "You're not supposed to jack off," which I'm going to hell, I guess. But actually, the sin was that he did not impregnate his brother's wife as ordered.
I just want to say, when I
Wait,
masturbate and spill my seed, it is merely to send millions of babies back to heaven. Be free! Be free! Andrea, you okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Oh my
drank
God.
wrong or you were amused, but yeah, Bree, hopefully you're not
That was
spilling
funny.
seed on the ground. Bree in chat says, me too.
You too what?
I don't know. But you know, oh, chokes on food. Yeah, that's food you're choking on, baby. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so they got
Well, we got
in
off topic
trouble-
fast.
Whatever. He got in trouble for spilling his seed and not impregnating her, but isn't it also a sin to impregnate somebody that you're not married to?
Old Testament versus New Testament. Old Testament, hell, them guys got around, man.
So if my brother sleeps with my wife and just says, God told me to, I gotta be like, at least you didn't jerk off. do you have a question, Andrea?
Oh, come on. You don't have anything to say about that, Andrea. You're a woman.
Oh my goodness.
And by the way, apparently, according to the Bible, it's okay if women masturbate. They just can't be human beings. Too far?
Yeah. Or be responsible, take ownership of your own body. What?
Fun fact. Andrea, may I reveal a detail about your past? It's a personal detail.
I don't know. What is it?
So, you don't have to be discreet. You could opens the window. Yeah, Bree, that's the way you go. Bree says we have to be discreet. Opens the window.
So everyone can hear the screams.
Me. Oh, me. So Andrea at one point in time went, I don't want any more kids, and I want to have my tubes tied or be fixed or whatever procedure she was looking into. And because she only had one kid,
It was too young.
Andrea, you want to tell the rest of this?
So, I have a son and I love my son, but I did not want to have kids. I wanted to adopt. But I had him, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do this again, because you guys know where babies come from. And I was told by everybody, you have to be of a certain age or have at least 3 children. It's like, why
Yeah, what
do I
about...
want to have... Hold on.
Okay.
Why do I want to have that many kids that I can't take care of? But then again, this was like late 90s, early 2000s. And if you're married, you've got to have your husband's permission.
That's what I was aiming for.
Yep.
But it's like, what?
Husband's permission. Not even 20 years ago. Well, a little more than 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Duh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, to get back to the topic, to slap us right back onto the topic, you know what? If they're going to make it where you can't have an abortion because it's murder, I'm absolutely all for women going, I'm pregnant, I can drive in the HOV lane. As for proof, I assume they get the ticket anyway. They have to show up at court with doctor letter going, baby on board, baby.
Baby on board.
From her brother-in-law.
Well, I often wondered that before the Supreme Court did away with Roe versus Wade, because even when Roe versus Wade was in effect, there were still a number of states that, not advocating murder, but if you murdered the woman and she was pregnant, they considered it to be a double homicide. And I often wondered about that. So how are you going to say that's a double homicide when a woman can abort the baby in the womb? It's a little bit of a reversal of
That's
the
an
woman with the
interesting
baby.
tangent, though. That's definitely a related tangent. That is, yeah. And so, and also, going back to the
It's
previous
so many things.
huh?
It's just so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show political opinion here.
Go ahead.
I don't like to do that in the tavern, but here's what I'm going to say. See, I'm already debating. See, I should have drank more before the show, so I had less of a filter.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, please.
I will go first, and I'm going to speak my. It's not even going to be a political opinion because it is my personal opinion, right? And it's interesting. I just had this conversation with a friend today, so it's interesting that you chose this topic for us to talk about.
And by the way, I don't feel like this should be a political opinion. I feel like this should be a personal opinion and a personal choice.
Right.
But anyhow, sorry, go on.
I do have a personal opinion about abortion, and that which has changed through the years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've dated a girl that just gotten an abortion. Had two female friends that I paid for their abortion because they were afraid their parents were going to kill them if they found out that they were pregnant. So, but at this point in my life, I do sort of feel like it's a baby in the womb.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it's murder. It's a
Okay.
baby in the womb. Okay. So you can conclude anything you want when I make that statement. However, I am conflicted because from the historical point of view, I remember the Spartans. This baby ain't going to make it in the world. It's going to be harder on our society, so we throw it off the cliff.
Right.
And I don't necessarily feel, don't throw the baby off the cliff, but I don't necessarily feel that's a bad thing either. So
To create a burden on the society?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have reached a point in our human population where it's at the edge. It's on a teetering point where, you know, we can look at it and go, we have all this land. We can definitely grow the food if we did things reasonably and logically. We could support more people on this planet. But with our social, economic, political system in place worldwide, we can't.
Right.
Because we won't. We will let people die in our own country, not even looking outside of our own country. We'll let people die.
Yep.
So, yeah, and see, that's a whole nother can of worms, Ed, with the whole, because we're talking about, in theory, a child who has no health issues. But I've known many people who feel a child is part of the mother until it is outside of the body. That is a parasite, to use their word, inside the mother, feeding off the mother, etc., until it's out. And I've had one or two other people say, well, technically it's still a parasite till it can feed itself, fend for itself, and earn a living. Now, that might be a little tongue-in-cheek, but I swear for some of these people it wasn't.
Well,
Right.
here's the thing. There are cases where women have like autoimmune issues
Oh, yeah.
where their body fights itself, but when they're pregnant, it subsides because there's a parasite, a foreign object there. And so it's, I get what you're saying. It's just a whole thing.
Okay.
I don't know where I was going there.
We're going to toe that political line that we try to avoid. I'm going to read Bree's comment here. Bree says, I have a hard time with this topic. I don't feel it's okay to abort the baby because it's not their fault. But at the same time, if the mother cannot handle having this baby for medical/mental health needs, then I do kind of understand. Also, the idea of someone getting impregnated from being raped, I feel there can be circumstances to the abortion. But at the same time, it hurts me to abort a baby. And this is not our topic. We're not actually wanting to discuss abortion. But here's...
No, but I feel her. I
Right.
feel everything she just said there.
And I agree with that. I think, and now we're going to go here. See, and Rachel says, I'm more against elected abortion than the general concept. I feel abortion needs to exist as a medical procedure that is available in extreme cases, such as the cases that were mentioned, where it is a health risk to that child or the person carrying that child, to whatever. It should not be used as contraceptive.
No, I don't think it should be used as contraception, but
Fist bump, bro.
but whether I agree with it or not is between that person and their doctor, because they have to live with the consequences of their actions. I don't.
Right. Now, some other
So whether
people,
I agree with it or not,
other people disagree and saying an unwanted child is consequences on the whole society. But again, this is the abortion issue. And this
Right.
is something people often stay in one extreme or the other. We all, from everything I'm gathering from the three of us in chat, it feels like we're middle ground. We're moderates on this. Yeah, Ed?
I can see the point of what you just said about the other people, though, because, gosh, this is going to sound awful, and I'm not being hard on them, but I know an individual. Yes, I am. I'm being hard on them. What the fuck? Let's be honest. She has 6 kids, 6 different fathers. Those fathers aren't taking care of those kids. Society is taking care of those kids.
By the way, to back you up, Bree in chat says, also, they should have kept their legs closed. Shrugs.
but you know what? It takes 2.
It does.
It
does.
takes 2.
It does.
But I believe in
And-
contraception, whether... Go ahead, Andre.
Well-
Sorry.
And here's a problem I have. Now, I'm going to go on a tangent here.
Go, baby,
A
go.
lot
This
of
whole
guys are
show's
like,
a
I'm
tangent
not
right
gonna.
now.
Huh?
The whole show's been a tangent so far. Go.
Whatever. There's guys that are like, I'm not going to get snipped. I'm not going to do that. You can't touch my junk. And seriously? But then they want their wife or girlfriend or whoever to go under this procedure where it's easier for the guys. There's less risk for the guys, but it's because of their ego.
Yeah, it's like 3
And
days
then-
out of work for a guy.
Yeah, where when women do it, it's like 2 weeks.
Right.
And sometimes they can't take the 2 weeks. But it's like, this is a 2-way street.
Also,
You can't blame one person for getting pregnant.
for those men out there that goes, that's my masculinity, it's a psychological damage to me to be snipped. By the way, women go through that same psychological damage when they get snipped. They
Still got the
feel-
hormones, dude.
Right. Yeah, they feel like their womanhood has been shattered, broken. Not all of them, just like not all men. But this is a natural human process. And so, unborn children, HOV, dependent on the taxes. What do you guys think?
Wait,
Sure, why
should they
not?
be in the car seat too?
I'm just imagining this little tiny car seat up against the VJJ while the woman is driving.
Well, because they say
Without-
children under a certain age have to be in a car seat. Where does that stand?
Without knowing what state this was and doing research on it, which I don't feel like doing because, hey, this is Talking to Tarot.
I know what
about whatever
state.
the fuck we want to talk about. What state was it?
Uh,
You know,
Georgia did the
To-
taxes. Texas had the HOV.
Oh, Texas said the HOV. Really, you would have to know the state law. I don't even know how HOV's lanes work here in Virginia. Can you put a child in the car and that counts?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, so
Could be a
if that is the
newborn.
case,
Driving home from the
If
hospital, just a mother alone and the baby, HOV.
if a child in the car counts according to law, I would say she was 100% correct.
And by the way, I support the tax thing, no matter where the rest of this stuff goes, because once you are pregnant, there is extra expenses in your life related directly to that child. Doctor visits
Absolutely.
alone, even if you're like going straight up for adoption, you still have extra expenses. Andrea?
Yep.
Okay. So my problem is you can go on the HOV lane if there's 2 people. So if there's less than 2 people in your car, you're discriminated against.
Yes.
We should
By law.
We should
That's
end,
bullshit.
we should end the show now. It's legal discrimination. It's okay. I'm gonna start the outro music here. Closing thoughts on this, Ed.
Oh, I just gave my closing thoughts. If the
Andrea?
law says child in the seat, absolutely. Yeah.
Andrea.
Oh, hell, I don't know.
Good enough. Here's what I'll say. May we get over ourselves and figure this shit out for individual rights and societal betterment in the long run. And goddamn, let it be soon. Check out the other Taco Taverns. Sometimes they're a lot more
Speaking words of wisdom.
less
Let it
intense.
be.
You guys have a good night.